Laundry is a fact of life. Another fact of life is that most people can't stand doing it. That's why in this video, I've come up with 12 laundry hacks that will save you time and get your laundry done better and faster. And just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to the Clean My Space channel. And another reminder, we have an email newsletter called The Dirty Dish. And if you like cleaning hacks and tips, cleaning memes, weird cleaning stories, and all things cleaning condensed in a very well-written, fun, and easy to read newsletter, you can subscribe to The Dirty Dish. We've got a link to the email subscription down below. If you're air drying a garment, or if you have a garment that cannot go into your dryer, but that you want to remove a lot of water from before you hang it to dry so it's not dripping all over the floor, there's an easy trick that you can use to remove a lot of the moisture. Now, a lot of people talk about putting garments in salad spinners, which yes, can take out moisture, but can also be a little bit rough on the garment. What I prefer is the towel roll. So get yourself a nice large towel. I like to use our microfiber waffle weave towel because it's very absorbent. And what you'll do is you'll lay the towel flat, put the garment in the middle, and then roll it up like a little burrito. Now, for added water removal, I like to hold it at each end and kind of do like a little snake, couple of taps, get my feelings out, and that really helps to shake out excess moisture. When you unroll the towel, you'll notice that the garment will come out much drier. It'll obviously need to air dry, but moisture won't have to actually drip out or fall out of the fabric. You've already done that by rolling it up in the towel. Stains happen all the time and you've got to catch them quickly. But what do you catch them with? Well, you can make your own stain remover. This one is very reliable. The caveat is that you have to whip it up on demand. It's 2 parts hydrogen peroxide to 1 part dish soap. So you can do 2 teaspoons hydrogen peroxide, 1 teaspoon dish soap, whatever the volume of the stain is, just whip it up on demand. Hydrogen peroxide becomes unstable as it gets poured out of its brown bottle. So you've got to only use it on demand so it works well. Now, if you don't want to make up your own, you can also have a store-bought product on hand. I have a couple that I go to. OxiClean is a great one. They've got a ready-made spray, as does Puracy. OxiClean is obviously an oxygen bleach-based product. Puracy is an enzyme cleaner-based product. Both work really well. The point is, you've got to treat your stain as soon as it hits so that you have the best chance of getting rid of it. Since no one likes to iron these days, based on everything I've heard from our comments and DMs, I have a few tips for how to eliminate wrinkles. The thing is, you gotta eliminate them at the source, and they start in your washing machine. As soon as your garments stop spinning around, as soon as the song goes off on your washing machine, it is time. It is time for you to pull the garments out and put them directly into the dryer or hang them to dry. Because as soon as they start sitting wet, the weight of the fabric and the moisture just wrinkles your garments. So the quicker you can get to them, the less wrinkles you're gonna have to worry about. Now, as soon as that song goes off, assuming that you run to your washing machine, you drop everything else that you're doing. For things like sweatsuits, you don't have to worry about this so much, but if you have, say, like a cotton shirt that you're putting into your dryer or you're hanging to dry, what I like to do is shake or snap that item a couple of times before I either put it into the dryer or hang it to dry. The reason I like to do this is because that snap kind of shakes it out of the shape that it settled in when all of the other clothes sort of sat on top of it in a lumpy pile in the washing machine. Now, if it's something like a blouse, and again, I'm really lazy, so I really don't like to iron, I actually take the garment and I kind of stretch the cotton or smooth it with my hands just to get rid of those wrinkles before I hang it. So I do a few snaps, a little bit of smoothing, and then I hang it, and it really makes a difference. And you might think, well, why would you snap it if you're putting it into the dryer? You gotta trust me on this one. Do a few snaps, you're gonna see a change. Next up, know your fabric weights and separate your garments accordingly. Now, this doesn't require too much homework, but basically you want to take your heavier stuff like your towels and you want to wash them apart from your lighter stuff like, say, t-shirts and more delicate garments. The reason you want to do this is, well, it's twofold. First of all, Heavier stuff mixed in with lighter stuff creates a lot of friction on the lighter stuff and can lead to pilling and wear your fabrics quicker. So if you pull stuff out of your wash and you're like, why does this t-shirt look so worn? It's because you were washing it with a heavier weighted fabric. Now, secondly, the other issue is that heavier fabrics are kind of hogs in the washing machine. So if you're doing a full load of towels, they will all wash evenly. But if you're doing a mixed load of towels and say t-shirts, the towels are going to absorb most of the water, most of the detergent because they're so thick. So the rest of the stuff that you're washing isn't going to get as clean. Delicates bags are for more than just delicates. One of the biggest complaints people have about doing laundry is that their socks get misplaced. And as the mother of a 3-year-old, I can tell you those little tiny socks end up in all sorts of places. And yes, they go missing very easily. So an easy way to control missing socks, delicates, or things that you want to keep together, even small items, hairbands, scrunchies, anything like that, you can throw those into a delicates bag and do a wash with them. I also love using delicates bags for sweaters like this. You know, this is an acrylic-based sweater, and if it just hangs out in the wash with all my other stuff, you're gonna notice, or I'm gonna notice, because it's my sweater, a lot of pilling. But if I put it into a delicates bag, it actually just provides a layer of protection between the fabric and the rest of the stuff, thus reducing the amount of friction that this garment is going to experience when it's in the wash. And for bonus points, you can even flip your garment inside out before it goes into the garment bag to further reduce friction. One of the things I really like to do to move this process along, I bring all of my laundry into the laundry room. So it's not a very wide space. It gets pretty cluttered up in here, but it really helps me visualize what I need to do. The next thing, and I would say this is like one of the most important things, is to keep on time. So this machine happens to sing a delightful song when the laundry is done, but if yours doesn't notify you by song, you can set a timer on your phone. And actually some machines are smart machines, or they have apps. So you can actually connect your machine to your phone and it will send you a notification when it's done. As soon as the wash is done, you move along the assembly line, get it into the dryer, get your next load going. As soon as this is done, fold it, move this over, da-da-da-da-da. You can get a lot of laundry done in one day if you have a really tight laundry routine. You just have to stay on time and you've got to be prepared. If you wear deodorant or antiperspirant, you are probably familiar with yellow pit stains on white garments. This is a mixture of body oils as well as the product that you're using. So a really easy way to combat this is to make a paste of baking soda and water. There's no real recipe here. You just want to get it to a pudding-like consistency. So whip it up and then apply it as a thick paste to the pit area. Let it sit overnight, launder in the morning or the next day. Doesn't really matter. The point is the baking soda will help to lighten that area. Now, if you wanted, you could even swap water with hydrogen peroxide. So you can do a baking soda hydrogen peroxide paste, and that will really help to lighten or remove those stains. Now, something I've noticed over the years is I use baking soda underarms instead of deodorant or antiperspirant, and I don't get those yellow pit stains. And baking soda is also great for removing odors, so you can give that a try too. Laundering towels is like entirely its own topic. In fact, I have a whole video about how to take care of your smelly or stiff towels, and I'll link that for you down below. But one tip I want to give you if you notice that your towels are stinky is you can do a 2-cycle fix. The first thing you're going to do, you're not going to use any detergent. The first thing you're going to do is launder using a vinegar-only load. So you're going to pop a cup of vinegar into the load itself, and then you can pour vinegar in all of the compartments as well. It can be the pre-wash, it can be the detergent, it can be the fabric softener. Just go to town with vinegar. Once that cycle is done, you can do a second cycle, but this time you're gonna put a cup of baking soda into the washing machine. Directly into the drum, not into any of the detergent compartments. And what this is going to do is to further help deodorize. So the vinegar kind of helps break down any deposits from detergent, any of the dinginess. It helps a bit with the odors. And the baking soda is like the 2 of the 1-2 punch. So do that cycle, the 2 cycles, then pop the towels in your dryer, make sure they're nice and dry, and they will come out fluffy and smelling great. Inflation's been a thing lately, and if you want to shave money off the cost of your laundry routine, ditch the fabric softener and pick up a jug of white vinegar instead. You can use this plain, or you can add 20 to 50 drops of your favorite essential oils to your jug of vinegar that you are now going to use as a replacement for fabric softener. The idea behind fabric softener is it's supposed to be like a conditioner for your garments. It's supposed to soften it up, loosen the fibers, make them feel good. But actually what happens is it often leaves a coating on your fabric, which can make it feel kind of waxy, or it can build up over time. So I actually don't like using fabric softener. But one of the benefits to using this vinegar rinse, aside from being able to loosen up your fibers and make them feel nice and soft and smooth, is it can also help to rinse out any excess detergent that went into the machine during the wash cycle, because vinegar can break down soap. So your clothes will already be clean, but this vinegar as a fabric softener will help to remove any excess. So it's a really easy thing to do. By the time your stuff goes into the dryer, comes out, or hangs to dry, you won't notice that vinegar smell anymore, but your clothes will feel much nicer and much softer. I've probably been saying this for 10 years now, but it bears repeating all the time. And that's because I get so many comments and DMs about smelly washing machines. And generally your washing machine smells for one of a few reasons, but one of the top reasons is that your machine doesn't have the opportunity to air out between cycles. Now, what happens in the machine? There's dirt, there's excess detergent, there's moisture, it's dark, it's warm. Oh my gosh, it's the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. So it's gonna reek if the door is closed. The rule should be whenever your machine's not in use, just to leave it slightly open. That just allows it to air out. If it's driving you crazy, you can leave it for 24 hours and then close it. Chad and I have this passive aggressive thing going where he always closes it and I always open it. It's kind of like our unspoken family argument. But anyway, it's worth saying that my machine we've had since we've lived in this house, been about 3 years now, and it still doesn't smell. So take good care of your machine by just leaving the door open when your machine's not in use. It's safe to say that people get a little bit overzealous with their laundry at times, either with overloading their machine or using too much detergent, thinking, oh, that thing's real dirty, I'm just gonna throw in some extra detergent and that should take care of everything. Well, that's actually not the case. First of all, if you overload your machine, I know it's gonna save you from having to do an extra load, but it prevents the clothing from flipping over. This is the actual movement that your drum does, and your clothes, if you ever watch what happens in your machine, literally flip around. They mix in with a little bit of water and soap to get clean. If your machine's too full, assuming you have a front loader, it's not going to be able to effectively do that. And if you have a top loader with an agitator, even still, the agitator isn't going to be able to do its job if it's too full. So you always want to max out at about 3/4 of the full capacity of your machine. That's number one. Number two is when it comes to detergent, use the notches on your detergent cup or use a pod if you use that. To define how much detergent you should be using. If you use too little detergent, your clothes aren't going to come out clean enough. And if you use too much detergent, detergent will actually stick around. It'll linger in your clothes. And if you've ever seen those laundry stripping videos, what people are stripping out is all of the excess detergent that was making their clothes feel and look and smell dingy in the first place. Now, I'm not going to do this in the middle of the frigid Canadian winter, but if you happen to live somewhere where it's sunny, or if you live somewhere cold, but you happen to be watching this during warmer months, you can hang your clothing outside. They have done this for centuries. It works very well for a couple of reasons. Well, mainly because the sun. The sun is great at drying, it's great at deodorizing, and UV rays, which are horrible for your skin, are great for garments. I mean, if you think about, leaving something out in the sun, a piece of lawn furniture, it literally lightens, and that's what the sun will do to your laundry too. So if you have whites that you're trying to get super white, line dry them out in the sun on a nice sunny day. They don't teach laundry in schools, but thankfully I teach it here on YouTube, and I hope that what I've shared with you today will make your laundry routine much smoother and much more efficient. And that brings me to this week's comment question, which is, who does the laundry in your house? Are you responsible for your own laundry? Do you do your family's laundry? Does someone else do the laundry for you? Let me know how it is sliced and diced where you live. In our house, I handle the household laundry, I handle our daughter's laundry, I handle my own laundry. But Chad is on his own, and that has worked for us for the last 15 years. And I think for the remainder of our lives together, that's just how it's gonna go. So I'd be curious to see how it rolls in your place. If your towels are feeling crispy, crunchy, and smelling kind of nasty, you really should check out this video on how to take care of your towels. And if you'd like to support the Clean My Space channel, you can do so by subscribing and by visiting the Makers Clean store, where we sell our premium microfiber products. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.